Welcome to Reseller Recap, where we talk all things reselling across multiple platforms. Join us for real-life discussions on how we crush the elusive work-life balance. Grab a coffee and join us now.
Hi guys, welcome back to Reseller Recap, or should I say award-winning podcast Reseller Recap, because we're going to do that every single time because we can't let anything ever go. With Jen, Emily, and Morgan is missing today because called life. It's called life, you guys. We have been lifing life lately, or life's been lifing us.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel lifed out.
I'm like, how do I put a pause on this? Give me a week to sleep and come back and try this again. So, Oh my gosh. So today we're going to talk about Prosper. It is like T-minus. It's coming up real quick. If you guys don't know, Prosper is in Vegas. March 10th through the 12th, I believe, are the dates. It's a huge event for sellers. I think it really started, and correct me if I'm wrong, Emily, like as Amazon sellers, like big push for them. And then now it's kind of transitioned to like all e-commerce platforms. Like there's stuff, right? From Walmart, and
it definitely has everything. I don't know. I remember that the founder was there last year or something, and I want to say he spoke, but I don't know. It's been around for a while. I don't really know the origins, but yeah, there's every platform is represented. Actually, Amazon's not this year. So
crazy.
What shade is that about? We have to find the tea.
Yeah.
But yeah, Temu, Shein, Walmart, I think TikTok Shop will be there. I'm trying to think.
Best Buy was there last year. Remember, and it was a big rumbling and stuff. And then I feel like that's like we've heard nothing from them since.
Yeah, and I don't think Whatnot. I want to see Whatnot at a show. So they're going to be at ASD, and that almost pushes me to go to ASD.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, they're going to be
surprised they're doing ASD and not Prosper. But I mean, I guess because a lot of people do buy like pallets, and ASD is a pallet liquidation show, really.
Right. So yeah, they'll be there. But it's a pretty big show. So if you're thinking about coming to Prosper, we'll have to post the links below for it too.
Yeah. Because you've gone, 3 years now to Prosper?
This will be my third year.
Okay. And then this will be my second year. So, and I really wasn't sure last year. I mean, we had just kind of launched the podcast. And so I wanted to go and just kind of talk to people about that and kind of get the vibe of what the industry, what they thought of, like, hey, let's have a podcast of RAOA sellers and females, like, because so many podcasts that exist were wholesalers or males, or like, I don't think there was any others really out there that were consistently talking about like mom life, RAOA life, and not, because it also coincides usually with the with MSC, which is like the $1 million sellers, or
MDS. Close.
Life. Did I tell you? Life. Yeah. So all those $1 million sellers. And so that was like also a big like bro vibe of, well, I sell 10 million, I sell 20 million, and I'm like, good for you.
Do you know what's funny is I looked at the show floor, and there's like an MDS booth that's $1 million sellers, and then one aisle over is the $1 billion sellers.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe we should just have like $1 trillion seller.
How about I am a 6-figure seller and don't care?
Yeah, we'll have to find something else to do. That's so funny.
Oh my gosh, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I know, because, and that was, I feel like walking around talking to people, they're like, oh, how many millions do you sell? And I'm like, I don't. And I'm like, oh, well, we'll help you. I don't want to. Like, they just couldn't. That was really interesting to me last year.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't know what to do with us, like, not wanting to like hit those crazy numbers. But I'm like, but I'm making more money than you. Like, I don't need to, Yeah. So
yeah, it's an interesting show. It's a lot of the softwares you use. They're all there.
Yeah.
And I know it's supposed to be for sellers, but I feel like everybody there is connected to an agency of some sort. Yeah. Everybody, like, I felt you and me were one of 5 people who were just just
selling.
sellers.
Yeah.
You know, walking around. And I know they want to bring in sellers, but even the big sellers, you're connected to so many of these tools.
True.
So it is a very different, it's kind of like camp for the adults. You know, it's like all the professionals get away and they do this during the day and then they party all night.
Yes.
So it's an interesting vibe, but I have always enjoyed it. I like connecting with these people that's not on Zoom, you know, and I don't know. I think it'd be good to like talk about who would benefit from coming.
Yeah.
You know, like, because there are some people that why would they come?
I know.
And like, if we didn't have the podcast, why would you come? Why do you think it would be beneficial?
Well, that was kind of part of it last year. It was like, okay, the podcast, but it was good to meet all the different softwares and talk to them and really find out like what they do, like not just like what is on their website, but talk to them, get face to face with a lot of them. I mean, that's where I met like the founder of Three Colts, Yoda, and say like, hey, this is what I like about your software, and this is what I wish it would do, and this is what I would add, and this is what I would not focus on. And there they were, you know what I mean? Because you can send stuff to the feedback all day long and send stuff to the contact us form, and who knows where it's going. Where here are the people that are actually like making it, using it, I mean, there's a lot of developers there.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting because then you are actually making a change, and it's making a change to your business, you know, like really simplifying. So I think that for number one, like, okay,
yeah,
you're using something or you feel like you're hitting a wall, like here's the spot to like, where are you going to fly to England to meet with them? No, just go to Vegas and there they are. And, you know,
yep.
At night you can, well, and I was laughing too. There was one, I'm spacing on the name of the software right now, but like we were in a elevator with them, going to a party, laughing and I don't know how we all got on the like talking about kids and how many kids we all have. And then the next day I saw him like at one of the booths and we're like, oh, hey, so this is what you do in real life. You know, like we were just.
Because they had a ton of kids.
Yes.
They were like two hot big guys. Right?
Hot dads. Yeah. Yep.
They were hot dads. Yeah. Yep. And it was, then we were like, oh, you have like 9 kids. That's why I remember that. Because I was like, are you in the Midwest?
Yeah. Do you live in the Midwest? Where you guys live? Yes. But it was, you know, I was like, oh, wow, this product I didn't even know of. And like, I can use this and, you know,
yeah,
this will kind of help branch that. And the connection, like, even if you're not in like the social space, it's so important in this business to have the connections to just know things, because it is very word of mouth and very kind of old school, even though there's so much new school of like softwares and things to help our business. It's still very much kind of an old school type of business of it is all about who you know. Yeah. And like people won't, you know, kind of welcome you in unless they know like, oh, you know, this person. Okay, fine. Then, you know I can trust you. And I know like I can give you like a little discount on this, or I can help you know about like this new product or that kind of stuff.
Right. I agree. I think the community is actually really close. It's small, and yeah, even if you are a smaller seller, networking is so important. And you don't know where your business will be in a year, but I definitely have go away from this. Like every time I go to an event, I'm like, wow, I'm so glad I met them. It's not because I'm going to use them. Like I don't have anything for them right now, but I'm just like, wow, they're so interesting. They're this far ahead in their business.
Yep.
They're doing things I don't really know about. So it's kind of cool to see people that you admire in person and what they're doing. So that's to me is always interesting.
Yeah. Well, and I really like too that they have the women's event. There's not very many shows that I'm aware of where they specifically are doing something for women only in the space, you know, like that. I think that's something that really sets them apart. It's kind of cool that, I mean, they have you know, leading the charge on that, which is nice too. So, but I feel like
that's how I got connected with Prosper, is I was invited to be a part of the women's group. And it was so, the response that first year was so amazing. So every year I love being asked back for that, because it's so much fun to be a part of. And someone asked me once, they're like, what would you do if there was a men's meeting? There was I was
Okay.
said, is it every room a men's meeting here? Like every room. Okay. So let's relax.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
because even like seeing the response at the women's meetup, and I'm like, wow, there's like, what was there, like 7,500 people? Like, there's a ton of people here. And then you go to like the expo floor, you walk around the show, and maybe because everybody's in different meetings and watching different presentations, I'm like, there's 10 of us. Like, where did all those people go that were just at this, meetup and stuff,
right.
So I
It
was
is
like,
that way because the women really do make up such a minority. So
yeah,
on the show floor, you're like, oh, there's no women here. But it is nice to have that camaraderie before the event.
yeah,
So you can connect with people, especially if they're going to go out to parties. And I think that's one of their pushes, is to connect women who are then going out afterwards. So no one's going out alone.
yes,
And I think that's like so great for them to think about that sort of thing, to keep the women in the space safe.
yeah,
So
1,000%.
if you're going, you definitely have to come to the women's event and hang out with me. It's funny because it's always 10 a.m. It's like the kickoff. And last year, a lot of people are getting off the plane and coming in.
Yeah.
So you're like, I'm so thirsty, tired. You show up, there's only alcohol.
Yeah.
Like
10 a.m.
Vegas style, only
Yeah.
alcohol there.
Yeah.
I remember being like, I could really use some water. No water.
Yeah.
Just mimosas or coffee.
Yeah. We'll put a little Baileys in that even. Like, let's be real.
That cracked me up. Is like, oh, we're in Vegas now. So we're drinking.
Just kidding. I know. Well, so hot tip, if you guys don't know, you can ask your cab driver to stop at like a convenience store when you land to pick up bottled water, because they usually have connections with places where they get a little kickback. They're hoping you buy booze, but like, who needs more booze when you're just already out at all these parties and stuff, is flowing. But hot tip, if you don't know that, you can ask. Some will like give you a hard time about it, and some will be like, sure thing, and go get yourself a case of water, because you will wake up the next morning after you've been at the party till 3 a.m. and you're like, I can't speak and I have to be at the show floor at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So
that's the one thing that is really fun about Prosper, is there's so many parties to attend.
Yeah.
Last year we did Smart Scout parties. So that's back this year. We can post a link to their party. It's like a kickoff to Prosper.
Yeah, I think it's the first year.
Then there's usually a Top Golf party. It looks like that's back.
Yeah.
Seller Systems, I want to say, is hosting that.
Yeah,
there's a Three Colts party. Who's that lawyer who hosts?
Oh, Rich Golds.
Yeah, Goldstein.
Yeah, I think so.
He hosts a couple like hotel room parties. Was it Barbara Streisand's hotel?
Yeah, it was at the MGM, and in these private suites that you had to go in to the MGM through a different entrance, go to a desk, have a code word. They had to walk us to like another door that they had to buzz us into a different set of elevators to go up to even access these suites. And then you have to walk through all these suites, and then you have to check in at the door. And I was like, this just took me 45 minutes to even get to this suite. But like, I mean, it's like a 2-story all glass window suite, overlooking the whole strip. And that was pretty crazy. I feel like we were, the first day we went, because it was like, 2 nights there. I feel like we just ran around the suite like children, because
at one point I was on a treadmill. I do know.
I laid on a bed. I was like, if she stayed here, James Brolin has existed in this bed, and I am laying here. I was like, and I just remember people were having actual like business conversations in this room, and here I am. Like,
we'll have to insert the photo. Yeah. Well, and last year Smart Scout had their party at Elvis Presley's suite.
Yes.
And I was in that bed jumping.
Yeah.
We had the best time ever. Like, everybody else is there smoozing it up. We're like, touch everything.
I was like, how many bathrooms are in here? And I was running to look at all the different bathrooms, because there was like 4 there was a pool. Yeah. Literally, I'm like, there's a pool in the suite, like a full-blown, full-size pool, because it's like an indoor-outdoor suite or something. I'm like, just sitting by the pool that Elvis swam in. Don't mind me.
Yep. So we really, I feel like that's such a small town thing. Like small town in a big girl room.
No, but it's like, when else are you going to be there? And I'm like, not. And we were talking to people. I shouldn't say that we were not, but also like being appreciative that like, when else are we ever going to get a chance to like be in these places? You know what I mean? Like, in all honesty, are we paying $25,000 or whatever it is a night to like rent these?
Yeah.
Immediately, no. Like, that's
How
never.
we are. We go in like, let's take photos of everything.
And then we'll come back around and talk to everybody. But
Yeah.
guess what? Everybody's like, oh, I wish I would have done that. You know how many people said that to us? Like, especially the next day on the expo floor. That's the other thing. Because we were running around like maniacs. People noticed us. And they were like, wow, I wish I would have done that. Like, that was such a funny, like, that was so fun that you guys did that. Like, I can't believe you did that. I wish I would have done. And I'm like, I don't want to wish.
The thing is, though, that when you say that, it's because you're out with boring people. That's a red flag. You need to be hanging out with us because we're doing the things you want to be doing.
Yeah.
We're appreciating the sights, the sounds, all of it.
True.
Not just acting like we're rich and important. So maybe hang out with us.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we slowly collected like extra friends as the whole. I mean, because it was, it's like 3 days or 2.5 really.
Mm-hmm.
And we just were like, oh, we like this person, you're gonna hang out with us tomorrow. Oh, we like this person, you're gonna hang out with us in the morning. And we just kept, and by the end we had quite the pod. There's probably like 8 to 10 of us by the end of it. So yeah, we travel in a pack now.
We do. I think it's important to go with the mindset, don't go to your hotel room. You need to, you really, especially if you go to events alone, you have to really push yourself to get out of your hotel room, because if you go alone and you just sit in your hotel room, you're going to regret going.
Yeah.
You need to go to events. I mean, there are plenty of free events. So pick a couple, go grab a drink, and then find a group. There's groups everywhere. And those groups of people don't usually know each other. They just same as everyone else. I'm new here. Walk up, introduce yourself. That's really, really important here because you're there to network. The value of the networking will really outweigh most of what you do on the floor. So go to the parties, talk to people, introduce yourself, and then be like, where are you going next? Can I tag along with you? Be friendly. Ask a lot. I think sometimes we forget how to make friends. Like that was a grade school thing.
Yes.
And adults, we go, and if people aren't like attracted to us immediately, we're like, well, we suck at this. We didn't make any friends. Be friendly, ask questions. Like those are the things I tell my kids. Bring questions you can ask other people. People love to talk about themselves. This is what you say if you want to make friends. Can I buy you a drink? Let's do a shot. Yeah. Friends for life. Let's do something funny, do something memorable. Let's go ask this person for a selfie. Those are just fun things that kind of endear you to people. And then, before you know it, you're just like a part of the group and part of the mix. But if you go in standing against the wall and think someone's just going to come up to you, that might not happen. You're going to be disappointed.
Yeah. I know. And I know a lot of people are not, like, it's hard for people. Like most people in this industry are not like super social people. I mean, you get to kind of hide behind your computer screen, you know what I mean? And do your business and stuff. But it's 2.5 days. Like push yourself for those 2.5 days because you're going to get what you put into it tenfold. So that's why I try to always be like, okay, I got to like turn myself on for this. Like I need to be an extrovert right now. I need to, like push myself out of my comfort zone. Cause I mean, even there was one like networking thing after that. Everybody was like line dancing. You wanted to line dance. Line dance is not my jam. So I sat there, but then I looked and I was like, oh, I'm sitting by all these people and everybody's like just on their phones. And I'm like, why are we not talking to each other? So I just started talking to people. And then I was like, boom, boom, boom. There was 4 new connections. Cause I'm like, we're going to sit here on our phones. Like, no, like, let's talk, you guys. And then we see them like the next day and the next, cause it's a certain group. And then if it's one person from that group, then you meet another 10 people. And so it kind of spreads out from that. So.
And the floor can be, if you've never been to a show floor, it can be really overwhelming. So I think that's another place where it's good to make a plan. Yeah. And maybe start with the brands that you know and you use and go up, strike up a conversation, ask about the software, get to know them. If you wanted to talk, like 3 Colts will be there. If you want to ask them about Inventory Lab or new software for Walmart, I think it's good to kind of go in with a plan. I think before I go, if you do want to go and like make new connections, really network, you want content, whatever, I think it's good to reach out to these people before you go and say, just to put yourself on their radar. You know, hey, I'm going to be there. Let's, you know, connect so they can put a face and name. And that does help. So it's not just like the cold call effect at the booth, like, hi, this is me, you know, put in a little bit of work beforehand. And I think that's good advice, no matter the show you're going to,
1000%.
you know, make those connections beforehand. So then when you get there, it's a little bit easier to navigate because there is a lot to do there. There's, if you pay for an all access pass ticket, you're going to be going to speakers. It's not just the show floor. There's speakers all day. They provide food. I'm not sure what the add-ons are for that, but you can check it out in the tickets.
Yeah.
But there's food, and then the show floor is like most of the day until the evening is when the parties start.
Yeah, because I think they even have like a seller's happy hour. The women's meetup was like an add-on. The lunch was an add-on. Like there was a few different things that could add on. So you can do as little or as much as you want, which I like that they kind of have all of them, you know, there's like all in one or a la carte kind of thing. But to your point of like doing the research ahead of time, I mean, that's what I did in my former life. You know, one of my 5,000 former lives is going to shows and having clients for like product development. And so I would look up who's going to be at the show. Okay, KitchenAid's going to be there, Keurig's going to be there, or whatever. And I would go on LinkedIn, and you'd be amazed how I know people like rag on LinkedIn all day long, but people are still on LinkedIn. Okay, so like go on there and like type in the company name and like, oh, this person, you know, is the head of product design, or this person's the head of software development, or this is the CEO, or this is the marketing manager. Ping them through LinkedIn. And then now you have their name, you send them a message. And then when you walk up, you're like, hey, is so-and-so here? We were messaging before the show and I said I would swing by. Ta-da. Like, then you have a warm introduction. Even if they didn't reply back to you, be like, hey, I pinged so-and-so before the show and let them know I was going to be by. Are they here but right now? You know, oh, they're not. Oh, let me give you their business card with their actual email address for you to follow up with after the fact, you know?
Right.
And then I know last year, even Walmart, and it looks like they're going to have a bigger presence this year. Like they had seller support there. Remember, they had rooms so people could go in with account issues. So not just, you know, because there's the Walmart Seller Summit, which we'll see what happens this year. Like I'm bummed. I was supposed to meet with them and I got super sick and missed the call.
Isn't it weird they haven't announced? Because I remember by Prosper they had announced it.
I know. Like, I feel like it was right around then. Well, because I told you, like, they're supposed to, I was supposed to have that Zoom or whatever last year, or last year. See, I'm still sick. Last week, about like kind of changing, like, what did people like and what did they didn't like? Because I think, you know, they heard us say we did not like this last year.
Yeah.
So, but here's another opportunity instead of having to go to the Walmart summit, because maybe we said, is it going to be invite only? Like, what's going to change this year? Come to Prosper and you can see them. So
yeah. And that's Amazon will not be there, unfortunately, but previous years they'll have their teams there, and like any booth, they'll have their merchant team, their FBA team.
Yeah.
And you were able to get their contacts, like Jen was saying. So I met with the head of the merchant department and talked to her, and I was floored. I wanted to do an interview, but they are really strict. Like those big companies are really strict on interviews.
Yeah.
But I was floored that she was there. She's like, oh, take my email. Let's connect after this. So that was fantastic connections. Anyone can use that. You know, not just somebody doing a podcast or content, like anybody needs that merchant contact. So it is going to be, if this is a first year, just probably showing up and taking it all in. It's like you need 1 year just to do that and take in all the sights and sounds. Because now Jen and I have had this conversation, what we're not going to do this year. It's like, what we do want to do, what we loved, what we're not doing again.
Yeah.
And I think that's important, though, to like talk about what you're not doing again, just to like, like,
Yeah.
let's
Well, I
not.
didn't spend enough time. My big thing was I also didn't spend enough time on the expo floor. Or I had the time to go there, but we were making so many connections, like always the night before, that I'd walk on the floor and I'd run into somebody I know, and then we're like chatting with them, about stuff and what's going on. And so I really didn't get to like 3/4 of the booths I wanted to, So I'm like, okay, that's my mission this year is like not just get stuck talking, which I mean, I love talking to anybody, come up and talk to me. It's fine. But like, I want to be able to actually because it is such a fast show, because it's like the first day, it's the women's meetup. So the expo doesn't open till noon. I think it closes at like 4. So there's 4 hours, or there's like lunch still. So there's 4 hours. Then the main day Wednesday, and then Thursday is just a little morning stuff. Like, I don't even know if the expo is open. It might just only be presentations. So you really only have like, not even a day and a half to try to see. And I'm curious it's going to be at the Wynn this year. Last year it was at the convention center. This year I like that it's at the Wynn because I feel like it's going to be easier to get to navigate,
I'm so excited it's at the Wynn. And I thought I heard a rumor it's at the Wynn next year too.
Oh.
I love that hotel. I have never stayed there. I just go for like the fancy things. Last year we did the pool there. The cabana, somebody got a cabana. We went there for the day and got food and drinks. And I love that hotel. And I hope we have some time to chill there and sit at the pool. Probably not, but that hotel is beautiful. So it's kind of like a luxury experience.
Yeah.
And if you book through Prosper, I thought they had decent rates. I was nervous for that hotel being what it is. Like, what are people going to pay? And I thought they had a decent rate for people. I was impressed. Like, okay, that's actually rates you get in most places. So if you haven't booked your room yet, I would really advise staying there. It's even if you get something cheaper, a lot of times those cheaper places look close, but it's hard to travel. It's expensive to travel, like Uber, or you get a rental. So I think really the best to save money and time is staying there. Like, grab a couple friends, get the room together.
Yeah.
And then all you have to do is walk downstairs. Our last year we Ubered back and forth. I think we took the Tesla loop, but the Ubers are getting expensive. And if you've never been to Vegas before, if you have, it's difficult to get around. You think like, oh, 1 block. No,
it's a Vegas block, which is a mile. So yeah.
it takes forever to get anywhere. So I would stay close. I really wouldn't get a rental car because I can't imagine driving or looking for parking space with a rental car.
You got to pay for parking at most of the hotels now. So it's just not even, and like you said, the Ubers, because we stayed last year, Resorts World, which had the Tesla Hyperloop. So that was fast to get to the convention center versus like going street surface, but you had to walk through the whole hotel. It was like a 20-25 minute walk from where the rooms were to where you get that. Then you have to wait for one of the Teslas because they time them, because it only goes one direction and they're driving. There's no high speed train. Fail. And then you still have to get out and then walk to the convention center,
Yeah. When I was there last, I don't know, fallish, we went to Fremont Street, which is my first time there, and there was live music. And I know Fremont Street is like tourist, right? But we did live music and then salsa dancing. Best time ever. Oh, and then that's where we went to this country bar, Countryland dancing, and that's where I rode the bull. So we have to like redo that with you. Yeah. And we have to, because that's more my speed. I would much rather that than like a $25 margarita hoity-toity bar inside. It was pretty relaxed and fun. We just like bar hopped. So I want to do that again. If you're listening and you're fun, you can hit us up.
Did you do the zip line?
Okay, we were going to, and it was booked.
Okay, yeah.
Open spaces. So
okay, yeah. Maybe we should look at that. So I've done like the original one. Like I did that years ago when it was my friend's 30th birthday. We did the original zip line, but now they have the like, what is it, Zipzilla or something? Like it goes even further. So they have the regular and then they have the giant one or whatever. But yeah, it does like book out. I know if you go earlier in the day, I think there's more availability, but people want it at night because they want the lights on. So you're like going underneath it under the whole lights display that's over like Fremont or whatever. So
it was a blast. I've only seen Vegas like from posh bars and hotel rooms, which that's glamorous and I love it, but I really love the bar hopping, like the country line, the country bars. That's kind of more the Iowa girls speed.
yeah.
And that was a blast. So we have to remake that this year.
I know. I like to try to get off strip because you get stuck. You get stuck in the hotels, and like you said, the expensive. But I'm like, if we ever go, like we try to eat restaurants like off the strip a little bit because they're so good. Like our favorite sushi restaurant is there, and it's phenomenal and stuff. And then there's a steakhouse I've been wanting to try, and I was like, ooh, I got to talk to you about it. But I looked and like I don't think there's reservations, so it's like, do we roll up and try to sit at the bar? But I'm like, it is classic old school steakhouse. Like
Jen is the queen of the restaurants. When we were at another Walmart event together in San Francisco, she was like, let's go to this prime rib. It's like the oldest prime rib restaurant around. Anthony Bourdain, is that his name, was there. And it's hard to get reservations. She got us reservations at like 9:00 at night. It was amazing. They cook like they do everything by the table. Yeah. That was so fun.
It was so good. That's how I was like, oh, you might be into like going for the adventure of like, let's go try to eat at this restaurant. Like if we don't have meals with people, because that's the other thing. Like you meet people and then you plan dinners together or you get invited to dinners and stuff. So because some of those are like networking around meals. So I was like, can we get there? But yeah, remember they told us like when we were at it's called House of Prime Rib in San Francisco, if you guys have never heard of it. But who was it? Chuck Norris was there like right before we were there or something like that. They're like, oh, you guys just met Chuck Norris. I was like, cool.
Wow. Yeah, we were saying we're in and we just grabbed last minute reservation and they're like, how did you do that? There's no last minute reservations here.
Yeah, I don't know how it just popped up and I was like, I'll take it. If you guys are okay with eating at 9 p.m., which normally I'm not, but I was like, c'est la vie. So
yeah, it was a blast. So long story short, you definitely need to hook up with us at Prosper because we have so much fun. We love to network with everybody, meet everybody. So we're not going to do all the parties, but listen, if you're out there, send us free tickets.
We make your party.
Yeah, we're definitely the funnest highlight that you could possibly dream of having. So send us free tickets. Yeah. We actually need like 5 free tickets.
There is some of us there is a pot of us already coming. So.
Yeah, we need 5 free tickets. We will show up and be fun. Yeah. You need us, Emily at crazyflippamom.com. Send the tickets there. Free drinks there. We'll see you there.
Awesome. Well, we will catch you guys on the next one and hopefully see you at Prosper.
Bye.